So you'll be able to chat with us through this little chat icon down at the bottom. I hope that you can see that. Now it's time for a little warmer. I'm going to show you the first of our dice frames. This is what a dice frame looks like. So, you'll also see that I have a number of dice here, and that I will be using them to determine what we're going to speak about. So it's very simple with the dice frame. I'm going to roll this, and the number I got was 3. So that means I have to say what my favorite musical instrument is. My favorite musical instrument is probably the accordion. I really like accordions. They're not very popular in America, but I really like them. So now you're seeing a dice frame and the instructions of how to do this activity. Something that's very key here is this: erase and replace. That means that we're going to actually change the content while we're playing this game. So where would you put up your dice frame? You could do it as we're doing here on a computer. You can actually write this on the board, and that's most of what you would do. It's very easy to just write this on the board, or you can print these as well. Let's try now. So here's our favorites. And here's what I mean by erase and replace. After we start playing this, then I'll cross out one subject and write in a new one. So I'm going to roll the dice again, and now I would like you guys to take part in this. Here's our roll. I got a 1. That means you can type into the chat box who is your favorite actor.
Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington.
Okay, cool. And now as we go forward, just one moment, please. I'll just go.
We can't hear you.
Thank you. Now you can hear me, right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So as we continue to roll the die, imagine that you're students in groups. You are rolling the die. I just rolled a 1. So we've already said actor, but we could roll again. This time I get a 5, and it is family member. Who's your favorite family member? So the content is dynamic. That is, we keep changing it while students in groups play and then look up at the board and see the content changing. Otherwise, it gets very old very fast. All right, so we have 3 different topics I'd like to do today. Experience and opinion using these dice. Critical and creative thinking. And grammar, everybody's favorite. So we're going to start with grammar because I know you like it best. So ideally, our students will be in groups for this. You can see that the groups work best from 2 to 6. Teacher draws a dice frame on the board. And if you don't have dice, 1 for each group, it's not a problem. You can write on little pieces of paper. You can use cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pencils have 6 sides, so you can write the numbers on the side of pencil. That's easy. So let's go with our grammar here. Almost every day is the dice frame. Let me give an example. I'll roll the die. I got a 3. So I would say almost every day I play my ukulele. Well, that's true. Now let's try it for the whole group, and please type into the chat box. And I'm rolling for the group. I get a number 2. Almost every day, what do you clean? I'm looking at the chat box here. And I'm seeing nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, almost every day you clean your room? I never clean my room. My kids' ears. I clean my kitchen.
Teeth.
That's excellent. And now I'm going to roll again, okay? So keep writing into the chat box, but I'll tell you your number. This time we got number 1. So number 1 is now dream because I erased and replaced it. So almost every day, what do you dream? I'm looking at the chat box for your responses. Dream big, that's very good. Clean the toilet almost every day. Almost every day I dream about a holiday. Those are excellent, great. So now I've rolled again. I got a 4. Almost every day, what do you eat? What do you eat? I dream of ice cream. Milica eats candy almost every day. Scott, eggs. Potatoes every day. Good. All right, we're getting a lot of input from you or output from you. So you can see that I would continue to change, to erase and write new content on the board as students were playing in groups. Almost every day I'm forced to wake up in the morning. So that's our present simple activity. It gives students a lot of high repetition at that grammar. We can also do this with the continuous really easy. Let's try it one time. If I roll a 6, what were you doing at 11:55 p.m. New Year's Eve? Anyone want to write in the chat box what they were doing?
Opening a bottle of champagne.
Allah says opening a bottle of champagne. I say probably watching Netflix. Avoiding stray fireworks in Dresden. That's good. Having online classes. That's amazing. and then just plain drinking. All right, excellent. So if students in groups were doing this, I would change the content a little bit as they were playing. You don't have to change content very fast. Every couple of minutes, change one item. Someone new is here, welcome. And now here's, did we do present continuous? We did past continuous. Now here's a present continuous. Let's try to get a little bit more creative here in this game, Someone Somewhere, is. Let me give an example. I roll the die here. I got a 4. So if somewhere, someone is trying to talk to a grapefruit. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. Somewhere in the world, someone is talking to a grapefruit right now. Let's roll and try another one. What else is someone somewhere doing? Present continuous. The roll I get this time is a 6. Can you use the internet? Someone somewhere is avoiding eating grapefruit. That's good, Laredo. How about with the internet? Oh my gosh, we have 56 participants. That's awesome. Chat. I found the chat box.
You can use mine.
Thanking God for internet. Yeah. Yeah. We don't mind no food on the shelves, but we're really scared of losing internet. Somewhere, someone is overusing the internet with these online classes. We're not overusing it. We're using it just right. Someone, okay, excellent. Excellent. So you can see we went from present simple to present continuous in the past continuous. It's easy to do present perfect activities. Let's try this one. I haven't done that for. Here's my example. I roll my die and I got a 5. So I haven't felt really bored for a couple days. I really don't get very bored. So for this answer, we're going to want to supply a time frame. Let's roll the die and give you a random selection. 2, you haven't drunk coffee for how long? I'm looking at the chat box.
You want the sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Or frame?
For 6 hours, for 5 hours, that's much too long. That's more like it. I knew that was coming from Ivana Bankovic. About 15 minutes. That's about right. Haven't drunk coffee for 3 hours. Okay, 10 minutes, Natasha. Natasha's got on her iPhone. That's excellent.
Where's she from?
She just logged in with her iPhone. Okay. So again, students would be playing this in groups and we would be changing the content. Let's try future simple. I rolled and got a 3 this time. In 2 years, I will probably have another a book published. I'm pretty sure. How about you out there? In 2 years, what will you have? I don't see any answers.
What's the question? Yes.
Yelena, I will have more experience with online teaching. Yeah.
That's for sure.
I will have learned another language. Oh. I'm sorry, Natasha. The question is, in 2 years, what will you have? I'm going to change the content right now, though, because I do things like that. I will have less hair. Okay, very good. Good. I will have probably taught students all around the world. Interesting that people are using future perfect there, which is perfectly fine. Now we're going to see our first double dice roll. So imagine that we're in groups here. It's the same idea, but here we're going to roll the dice 2 times. So let me roll for our whole group. The first one is 1 in 40 years. Wow. And the second roll is 6. Believe. Getting a little more challenging. So in 40 years, I will believe that I am very tired. Anyone else want to? In 40 years, I will believe in aliens. Okay, good, Maritza. Does that mean you don't believe in them now? Because that is actually one of our questions. No, she doesn't. I'm going to do erase and replace. I'm going to roll again. In 10 years, I will weigh. How much will you weigh in 10 years? You don't actually have to say that. But it could be a good speaking task. Okay, let's move on from grammar, I think. Oh, so we even can do grammar in difficult aspects or tenses, such as the unreal past conditional. For example, if I had lived in ancient Rome, I would have drunk a lot of wine. I would have worn a toga. So it's quite simple to create these dice frames for almost any grammar. And I'm going to show you where you can get those. Ivana will paste the link in the chat box at some point. Now let's look at experience and opinion, a few dice frames with that. Here's a very simple one for students. In groups, they will roll their die. For example, if they get a 6, they can say what they like or don't like to do with the word build. For me, it's I like to build things out of clay, modeling clay. I like the way it feels. Let's roll once time for the group. I've now rolled a 5. What do you like to catch or not catch? I have a feeling people are going to say, I don't like to catch the virus. I would like to catch a golden fish. That's really cool. Ladybugs. Yep. Catch the metro. So you like to catch the metro, Scott? Or you don't? He likes it. Okay, good. Excellent. Let's move on. I really want you just to get a taste of all the variety that's possible with these dice frames and how you can just write them on the board in less than 1 minute. So we are now in the subject of experience and opinion. Here's one about the past. If I roll the die, I get a 2. When I was 7, I loved to play and do nothing else. Let me roll the die for you. You got a 5. When you were 21. Tell me something about when you were 21. I like that. Very factual. Enrolled at secondary university. Milica, I went out a lot. Okay. Natasha just cried. Pravkitsa used to go clubbing. Okay, excellent. Oh, Larita visited the United States. Great. And here's another one about the past, about students' own past. This is called remembering. So here we have objects. And the idea is that those objects may conjure up any kind of memory. If they do not, that's okay, because we're going to do a lot of erase and replace here. So we'll be changing the content quickly. So let's say our first roll is a 6. A fallen tree. Does that cause any memory for anyone? If it does, please write it in the...
I died by bees.
In the chat box. And I will continue to roll the die and ask you for other memories. So our second roll is a 1, but you can see 1 has already changed. It is now going to church. Is there any memory associated with going to church? My dad falling asleep and snoring loudly. Good. Now you can see the content is changing as we continue to roll the die. The next one is 5. Does anyone have a memory about a bicycle? If so, type it in. Bruised knees. First falls. I'm rolling again. I got a 2. A 2. A pet. What memories do you have of a pet? Okay, I never had a pet, actually, Loritka says. That's good, because we can also, these are just prompts, so you don't have to follow them perfectly. You can say, I never had a pet. That's great. Wow, some really cool memories here. Some really cool memories here. All right. And here, there's finally an opinion question. I'm just going to show it to you. We won't actually answer. Do you believe in? So students would answer whatever comes up on the dice as they take turns in groups. So the last thing we're going to do here is creative and critical thinking.
To tell them that you could be cut.
The same process applies. Huh? Okay. But these are going to get a little bit more higher level, a little more like higher order thinking skills. So what we're going to do here is don't proverbs. You may know don't cry over spilled milk. Don't upset the apple cart. Okay, so let me try. I'm going to roll 2 times here. Again, students would roll 2 times in their groups. So my first roll is a 3, keep. My second roll is a 5, secret. Well, those two go together perfectly. So my sentence is going to be, don't keep secrets with the lady who works for the telephone company. Now let's go over to you. We're going to roll again. If you have your own dice at home, you can just roll for yourself. Your first roll is 2. Don't laugh at. 4. Thief. So what kind of proverb can you make with don't laugh at the thief? Don't laugh at a thief in the night, Milica says. Nice one. Don't laugh at a thief when he gets caught. Okay. Let's try one more. Don't proverb. I've got a 4, which is listen to, and a 3, lion. Listen to and lion. Don't listen to a lion named Scar. Don't listen to a lion while he's roaring. That's really cool, Innovation Hub. Okay, bye, Darina. See ya. Ciao. Okay, so I think this is a good way of getting students to take the leap into sort of higher order thinking skills. Creating very interesting poetic language. Now let's go on to a more creative thinking. Okay, this one's called make up a meaning. These are words that don't really exist, but we're going to pretend they do, and then we're going to define them. So let me roll the die. I rolled the die and I got a 4. Plumily. Well, plumily is an adjective and which describes the way overweight people come downstairs. And Hilda came down the stairs plumily. It means heavy and swaying side to side. That's what plumily means. All right, how about, now I'm going to turn it over to you. Would you like to define any of those words to create your own meaning? Topsolation, the process by which topsoil settles in stream beds. That's very good. Some of these activities will take some time. We're going through them very fast because I want you to get a flavor for the versatility of dice frames. Jonkel, a joke about anything in a silly way. Don't jonkel me. Oh, Dragana, very good answer. Extra fun. Great work, everybody. Great work. And here for creative thinking, fairy tale first lines. I'll just do one as example. I got a 6, which means I can choose any of the above 5. And for the column 2, I got fell in love. So I have to make up the first line for a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a witch who fell in love with a blade of grass. Okay, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird, but that's me. Okay, how about this? For your students' thinking skills, the simile generator. In this one, we're going to roll the die twice. First roll is a 6, and I get the future. The second is 1, a wheel. So our job is to make a simile. The future is like a wheel, and then explain why. The future is like a wheel because it's always spinning and we can never catch up to it. Let's try another roll. If I roll 6, again I get the future. And you see I'm doing some erase and replace here. So now I have change for number 6. Change is like 6, a jungle. How is change like a jungle? Anyone want to make a simile and tell us how change is like a jungle? Wow, you never know what lurks from behind the trees. You never know what's coming next. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have enough light?
Mm-hmm. All right, good. I think change is like a jungle because it's dark and strange, but then you see all the beauties. That's really good, Milica. Okay, excellent. So this activity is very good for training students because they'll do the similes. They'll make several of them. Can be a good start for poems or essays. For our last one today, yeah, this is our last one. We're actually going to roll the die 4 times, and let's play all together as a group. So roll number 1 is 3. That is the reindeer. Roll number 2 is 3. Column 2, that is the parrot. Roll number 3 is a seahorse. And roll number 4 is a weasel. I hope you know a lot about animals. So which creature is different from the others? A reindeer, a parrot? Is that the other one? Mm-hmm. Reindeer, parrot, seahorse, or weasel? Does anyone have an answer for this? Seahorse, it lives in water. Okay. Yeah, in fact, it's the only non-mammal. Are birds mammals? Okay. Okay, that's a very good answer. But of course, my answer is going to be the reindeer because it's the only animal that can realistically pull Santa's sleigh. A team of weasels could never do that, obviously. It's totally logical. Okay. So we're already about to end our time here. We wanted to make a very quick webinar for this first pilot. And I'm so glad that you could come today and take part in this. So our goals were how to learn how to use these dice frames in the classroom and to see that if the online lessons trainings could be interactive. And we can try to interact with the microphone in a moment, but I wanted to try it without first. I hope you've learned that dice frames are really versatile. We could do any grammar, almost any subject, and have a lot of prompts. You should play them, or students should play them for about 10 minutes, not longer. Erase and replace is critical for keeping the action lively. These also make for great writing prompts. All right, so I would be really happy if you took time to rate today's session. All you have to do is type a number in the chat box. So 1 is bad, 10 is great. And you can be honest because we're just exploring this medium right now. Oh, you guys are way too, come on, be awesome, honest. Well, I appreciate all your positive feedback. And one more. Oh, good. Somebody will be using it in the classroom a lot. Good. It's the kind of activity that you should do short and then return to it often. Now, in the future, if we have more webinars, what would you like to see? Short teacher training webinars like today that are practical? A webinar series of 6 like this where you would get an e-certificate if you attend. 3 webinars that train you to use platforms like this so that you could do it. And we could make a very short course out of that as well, like 4 webinars. Or would you like to see fun thematic webinars like Women's History Day, Earth Day, game shows, etc.? Which would you be likely to attend? One, two, three, all, okay. Okay. Three's popular. Okay, well, this is useful for us. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned in today. We really appreciate it. And I really want to thank my partner and colleague, Ivana Bankovic from the Regional English Language Officer, who's today's moderator. Ivana, do you want to say a word?
Yes, it was my pleasure to meet you all here virtually, and I hope we will see each other in another webinar soon. Thank you.
Okay, here we are again. So that officially ends our first Relo webinar today. We had 24 participants, or 25, which is pretty good. Is there anyone who would like to try to say something in their microphone? You can just raise your hand if you do. Your virtual hand.
Hello.
Oh, hello. That's Voyo. Hello,
Hello.
welcome.
Hi there.
Hello, is that Marta?
Yes, that's me. Yeah,
Where are you calling from, Marta?
from Warsaw, Poland.
Oh, that's awesome that you made it today.
Thank you. In fact, I was just about to ask because I missed most of the webinar. Was it recorded?
Yes, I recorded it. And
Me
I'll
too.
put it on YouTube or with a link on the Relo
That's
Facebook
fantastic.
page.
Great news. Great news. Thank you.
And then I hope we'll have some, keep an eye out because we're going to do some more next week, I hope. Thank you,
Okay.
Marta. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Anyone else? Yeah, Voya.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the wonderful lecture.
It was a start. Thank you. Where are you from, Voya?
Montenegro.
Cool. Well, welcome. Anyone else like to say hello today?
Yeah, the version.
Yeah, good on.
Then we're going to wrap it up for today. Ivana Milosevic also said it would be useful to have the recording available. Yeah, we will have it available. Okay, so thank you all so much. Really appreciate your coming and giving your comments today. Huh. Interesting that Tatiana can't hear me very well. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'll be in touch. Take care.
Thank you.
Cheers. Ciao.